you're on.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. We are going to officially start the show in 5 minutes. So before we do that, there's some pre-program things that we're going to do. So if no one's online yet, I'm going to start sharing it. I've got my co-pilot. You said partner in crime.
Yeah, partner in crime. I'm on the other side. I'm letting Idris Ali take the the limelight for this one.
He's got a Star Trek T-shirt on as well. He's what are you, R2D2?
No. Star Trek.
Oh no.
R2D2. That's
a
Star
blooper.
Wars.
Cut that out quickly.
Yeah. Boop boop.
I'm glad we're not started the program yet. I'm only one person watching.
That's alright. I'm sure they can start sharing. I'm just gonna put the microphone. Just position it. Sorry guys. There we go. Done.
Okay, so I'm just sharing it to ILB.
So who do we have online? We've got Khalis Bhai. Assalamu alaikum Khalis Bhai. Hope you're alright. Like I said, I'm just gonna stay out of the frame on this one. Let Idris Bhai take lead on this because it's his little baby. So
no, we're in it. We're a team here. We're together in this. Definitely not just my baby.
Lovely jubbly. By the way, guys, do share. Don't be shy. Do start sharing. Hamdard Khan Sahab, everyone knows him. Assalamu alaikum Khan Sahab. Nice of you to join us.
Okay. Just do one more sharing, then I will.
Are we still doing the sharing bit? Sharing is caring.
Yep.
Lovely.
So, as an introduction, I'll start introducing the show. Today's show is a special interview with, as most people already know, with Sarah Ali Choudhury, our celebrity chef, and many other things which we are going to go into as the interview progresses. So before I do that, I would like to actually go through her profile a little bit so that you get an insight into who we're interviewing. So, Sarah Ali is an award-winning Indian food expert, TV chef and food columnist. Sarah is very passionate about sharing the joys of Indian cuisine, whether through TV, radio or print media, live cooking demonstrations, social media or bespoke teaching. She's been named the youngest Asian woman to run a restaurant at the age of just 20. Sarah has gone on to capture the delights of Indian cuisine through her recipes, which have featured in print and online publications locally, nationally and internationally. Sarah is on a mission to transport the flavours of Indian cuisine into simple, achievable recipes that can be enjoyed by all. She's a firm believer that everyone can make a delicious Indian meal, no matter how much experience they have in the kitchen. Full of enthusiasm and the true love of cooking, Sarah takes great delight in teaching people simple meals and recipes from all over India. Sarah loves to dispel the myth that all curries need numerous complex spices. And loves to tackle the intimidation that can easily lead people to pick a jar of curry sauce off a shelf rather than cook from scratch. Brilliant. We'll soon find more about that when we interview Sarah just in a few minutes. Sarah has been recognised as an inspiration motivational speaker and has spoken at numerous events, including at the Chartered Management Institute, the Federation of Small Business for London, the Elite Business Women's Network, as well as universities, colleges, schools. Sarah has also presented and hosted various award ceremonies. Sarah is a recipient of multiple awards, including the winner of the Venus Influential Woman of the Year, and the finalist of the Venus Inspiration Woman of the Year. She is currently lead ambassador for Venus Awards for 2018. Sarah was one of the 8 selected finalists out of 8,000 contestants in Tommy Mears International Chef of the Year competition. Sarah has also won New Kid on the Block in the UK Small Awards launched in 2017 to recognise the achievement of a small business in the UK. Sarah appeared in the British Bangladeshi Who's Who guide for 2017, was given a standing ovation by Bangladeshi Catering Association for her contribution to the Asian catering industry. A restaurateur, TV chef and owner of a gourmet Indian event catering business. Above all, Sarah is a home cook, passionate about feeding her family healthy and delicious home-cooked food. I'm just going to, it's a very long-winded one, so I'm just going to quickly go through the final bit. Sarah's greatest and most recent achievement is to receive a Covenant Award from the British Armed Forces at their Commanders Parade at the Military Academy in Sandhurst, which raised a national and international recognition. Okay, sorry for the long-winded one, but I just thought I had to give... sorry, did you want to say something?
I just wanted to say, you know, like, I'm sure we can get the actual details, you know, when we chat to her very shortly. I can see she's online. We'll actually bring her on in a couple of minutes. Just to, you know, like, let you guys know. Thank you guys of those of you that have tuned in. Guys, please share. I've had the pleasure of, you know, briefly speaking to her at the recent Oldham Eid Mela. When I said brief, it was really brief because, you know, I invited her onto stage just to say a few inspirational words for the ladies in the audience. And even though it was brief, it was inspirational. You know, it was very empowering, and, you know, I thought that it was important to sort of give acknowledgement where it's due, and also, you know, a big Shabash Bengali, which I did scream out.
I did that on stage as well, I think. Yeah.
So without a further ado,
I'm just gonna mention a couple of other things. Sorry. Yeah. Normally we do this interview on ILB only. Today, because of the demand, a lot of interest in the interview, we're sharing it on other platforms, including my own page. So if anyone's watching from my friends list that are not on ILB, welcome to you all. I hope you find this interview inspiring, or you can take something away from it. The purpose of all these interviews, I've done about 3 interviews already. The purpose of it is for you to take something away. All these people that we interview are very successful people, and they're inspirational people. So even if you take one thing away, that would mean that this interview is a success. So that's the whole point of doing the interviews. Sorry, I cut you short there.
No, that's fine. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna invite Sarah onto the show. I'm gonna invite her onto the show. Just quickly, you know, like, giving a shout out to all the lovely people that have joined us. Rosie Choudhury, Jitumia, Sanubai, Abdul Mumin. Wow, I can't even see. Rosie Choudhury, Mamzi Ali is watching. Diwan Ukil, how's it going, bro? Muzaid Khan, Khalis Bhai. So anyway, I'll give out shout outs to you guys, and without further ado, I'm going to try and invite Sarah Ali on, and just have a quick banter with her, and let's see how it goes.
Okay, here goes. We have drums. Oh, we don't have. We could have a drum roll or something.
Here we go.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening.
Walaikum salam.
Can you hear us loud and clear?
Yeah, it was definitely a bit louder before, but I can still hear you.
We can hear you loud and clear, by the way. We can even see you loud and clear. That
okay.
Makes sense.
How do you see someone loud and clear?
It's just a saying, you know. Just one of those.
Big and clear.
She knows what we mean.
Yeah,
she knows what we mean. Okay.
In the high definition.
First and foremost, welcome. Out of all the interviews, you've done a lot of interviews. I'm sure you have, right? Out of all the interviews you've done, do you think you've done something like this before? Social media.
I have done live Facebook videos before. I haven't done it for a group like this. I'm really excited to be doing this. I'm really honored that you've invited me, and that you're also sharing it on your other platforms. It means a lot to me, and I'll be sharing it as well on my social media platforms as well.
Brilliant. We're also very, very glad that you're on. We're very privileged to have you on there. As I said earlier, I gave you a bit of an introduction about yourself to the people so that they know a bit about you. And we're also hoping that we do take something away from today's interview, something positive, even a small thing that will be great for the interview. Before I start the interview, I hear you've been doing some skydiving. Which,
I did skydiving yesterday. It feels like ages ago, but it was yesterday. I went up to Salisbury with Go Skydive, and it was to raise money for charity. Um, and it was an experience that you won't forget very easily.
brave, very brave. I mean, how were you feeling before you jumped off that plane? What was going through?
Do you know, right? The whole way, I thought it was fine. I thought I can do this, no sweat. I'm not going to think about it. And actually, I thought that I'll go there and I'll get on a plane and you jump out and it will be done in an hour. And, you know, in an hour's time, I'll be back home and it will be fine. I didn't realize the process of how skydiving works, that you go there and you don't just get in a plane and jump out. They, you know, there's a whole load of things that you have to do. They'll show you videos first. So if you're not scared, they will make you scared before you get on the plane. And
But
then you do
the scary
training.
about jumping off a plane is you always worry, what if that parachute doesn't work? What happens then? Does that go through your mind?
The belief in Allah is so strong just as you're about to jump out. When they open the door, because there's two heights. So you can go from 10,000 feet or you can go from 15,000 feet. So when my name was booked in, they said, oh, you're set at 10,000 feet. I was like, oh, 10,000 feet. I thought, I'm not going to be coming back and doing this again, because I was starting to get a bit nervous by that point. And I was like, you know, if I'm going to do it, let's just do it properly. So I said, no, put me on for 15,000. So they put me on at 15,000, and then at 15,000, when I was in the plane, I realized the majority of people got out at 10,000, and I felt like there was only two of us, I think, that were jumping out at 15,000 feet. And it was, you know, the instructors who were with us were like, oh, you know, they're for the lightweights. And, you know, these are the really tough people who are left in here. And I thought, I don't think I fit in the category of tough. And they opened the door, you know, at 10,000 feet. And you don't realize how high up 10,000 feet is. You think it's not that high.
It is.
But when you're there and you can see there is clouds beneath you, like when you're actually in the sky, when you're going on holiday and you look down from the plane and you see that, it's like, oh, it's quite frightening. But then they were like, oh no, we're going 15,000. We've got a long way to go before it's your turn. So they opened the door, and yeah, it was, you know, it was quite spectacular. But I got the video of it, and I was looking at the video myself this morning and thinking, like, I can't believe I just did that. I feel like I can do anything now.
By the way, folks, just for your perspective, 1,400 feet makes a mile. So those of you that are sat comfortably at home, just for your awareness, 15,000 feet is approximately just over 10 miles. So this crazy woman jumped off a plane to raise charity, and then, you know, like, you know, I even commented on a post saying, God, you've got more guts than I have, and if I were in your shoes, I'd be screaming like a little girl.
You know, my mum phoned me this morning, and she said, oh, your dad tried to show me a video of you yesterday. What were you doing? And she got really upset with me. She was like, well, how could you do that? What were you thinking? You know, what if something happens? What if something goes wrong? I didn't think she was going to get like that upset. She's like, I don't want to look at the video. I don't want to look at it. So she hasn't seen, she started to watch it. She saw me just coming out of the plane and she said she can't watch this. She was more affected by just watching the video than actually the whole experience that I went through.
It's not easy to watch.
She's a mum, so.
Hey, you know, when we go to rides at, you know, theme parks, and you know, when it's a scary ride, I sort of close my eyes and don't want to look and all that. And my friend used to say, right, what's the point of closing your eyes? You miss the thrill. So did you actually close your eyes, or do you actually look down and see?
No, she had her eyes wide open. I watched the video and
I was looking.
Oh my God.
I was looking. The worst part was just that second when I saw everybody jumping out and I realized it was my turn next. That was the worst feeling ever. But
I think the build-up is the worst part, because you're thinking, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Once you actually do it, it's not that scary. So, well, that's fantastic. That's amazing. And you've done it all for charity as well. So you
But the
like
theme, going to the like theme parks, like you're saying, when you go to the fun fair and you get in the theme park, I'm that person who loves to go on a ride. I love all of the, you know, the
oh,
kind of
those
exciting rides.
like scary
I
rides.
think there's not gonna be a thrill like that anymore. When I go to a fun fair, it's gonna be like, oh, it's nothing like jumping out a plane.
I know, it's true. Amazing, amazing. I think it's a brilliant way, and you've done a very, very daring act as well as raise money at the same time. That's brilliant, and I think that's fantastic. Well done to you. Well done to you. I think, and many of us, like myself and Idris, won't even dare to, you know, think about doing something like this.
Not parachuting. No, I mean, oh my God, I value life. I'd rather, you know, like have you know, look forward to my big English breakfast.
Okay, thank you.
Well, actually, I was going to say my husband did parachute jump. He did it years ago, but he said he did it alone. So I think that's even like, I don't think I'd be able to do it alone. I had someone who was really experienced, but I think there was a training period that he had for 3 months, and he jumped out and he did it alone. And I just thought, I think that's crazy. I don't think I could ever do it alone.
Wow.
But I think this is more scary. Parachute jump, it's not as high. This is more scary. It's higher. I think this is more scary. I always have the thought of my wife, this doesn't work.
Yeah, you always have a second shoot though. If the first one gets tangled, I looked into it at work.
So frightening. Oh, if something goes wrong with the first one, but you know, he was saying like he thought I was very brave, but he's saying that he did, you know, he did this years ago, long time before we got married. Long time. He's in here now. He's watching me and he's laughing. But
Just say hi to everyone.
Hello.
Come up and say hi.
Hi.
Oh,
I'm on my longie. Sorry.
That's brilliant.
do a little dance.
This is by the way, this is
There you go.
ILB.
On my longie.
Oh,
Relaxing.
we're going to come to the longer bit later on. Should we go back to talking about food?
Yes. Come on.
Okay, so you mentioned, you know, you've gone into the Indian restaurant trade, and a lot of people know that Indian restaurants are dominated by male. You've got mainly male chefs, and the staff are mainly male. What gave you the confidence to actually feel that, you know, you can rub shoulders with them and actually, you know, be a success in that market? Also, did you come across any kind of struggles? That's my first question, please, to you.
So I was actually born in that industry. I was born and grown up in that. My parents had a restaurant when we were growing up, and we were just born in it. So we used to live above the restaurant. We used to live with, you know, we had a one level where we used to live, and the staff had another level. We grew up with people, Bangladeshi people, in the Indian restaurant industry, like a lot of people in, you know, in the 70s. A lot of people were living like that, and I think when you're born in it, you don't really know any different.
Yeah.
So we didn't know any different, and I also had I was quite fortunate because my mum isn't from Bangladesh. She's from Guyana, South America, and my dad is quite a very open-minded, free-thinking man. And my dad and my mum built their business together. So she helped him all the way. She still is in the restaurant helping. Right. So it was quite unusual. But where we were in Bournemouth, quite a few women who were married were doing that. Quite a few women were actually in the kitchen. It wasn't so spoken about, but they were there. And I think there are other people even now that have some women in the background in the restaurant, but it's not really spoken about. What I have done is not anything different. The only different thing that I do is I go on about it. I'm talking about it, but nobody else does. That's the only difference.
Good on you for doing that. I think what I was trying to say is a lot of our women in the community, they sort of think, oh, it's, you know, Indian restaurant is a man's thing. It's got nothing to do with me. I mean, you're one of the brave ones, one of the exceptions. But a lot of people think, oh no, it's got nothing to do with him. And I think it's about time that women did get involved in these industries, because we know, you know, in all our households, how good cooks they are, how good chefs they are. You know, they all cook the curries at home.
Yeah, but it's not even just the cooking. You know, when we were growing up, the reason why Bangladeshi women didn't, in that time, people from Bangladesh, their wives didn't work. They didn't do any jobs. It wasn't like they were working in a school or they were working in banking. They didn't do any jobs. They were at home. Their husbands went to work, and whether they lived upstairs, downstairs, not the point. The point is the husbands went to work, come back, and the women look after the children. We've gone a little bit ahead of that now. A lot of people have educated their daughters. A lot of people, before they used to go back home and get married and bring the wife over from Bangladesh, and then there was a change. Suddenly a lot of people got married here. There are enough women here that we can get our children married to, and so the girls are also now educated. They've studied. The girls are getting more educated than the men. They're coming out with their MBAs, they're coming out with their doctorates.
Yeah.
They're ahead.
Yeah.
And so now the women are not at home, they are working.
Yeah.
You hear about them going to school, college, they go on, they become very good at either looking, in childcare or wherever. So they're working in other fields, but they never ever brought them back into the restaurant trade. It's almost like a kind of a taboo subject. Like, oh no, but they are working outside. They're working outside anyway.
Yeah.
But working with them has always been almost frowned upon.
It is.
And I think now that is starting to change.
Oh, it's definitely starting to change. Just before we go any further, we've got a lot of comments coming through, and a few people are asking questions already. I can't even go to my second question. Should we read some comments or...
This particular one from Parvez Ahmed Jalil.
Oh, Parvez Ahmed Jalil, Assalamu alaikum. He's a really good member of ILB. He regularly watches these interviews, and he himself says get inspired. He's a really good member. He's got a question, actually.
It's actually a really nice question, if you'd like to...
Okay, so this Parvez Ahmed Jalil is asking a question. What advice would you give to young people who are in the restaurant food business, myself included? My generation is moving away from the trade. Sarah, do you think Bangladeshi community is moving away from the food business, and are we losing our grip on the industry?
The Bangladesh catering industry are not moving away. They already moved away a long time ago, right. From bringing their children in. Nobody wanted their children to come in to this industry. They looked at, even though it's the most thriving industry for Bangladeshi people in England, it's the biggest money-making industry and always has been. You're talking cash in hand. And this wasn't something that grew I think from the 50s. Yeah. It grew really big. And then by the 70s and 80s, it's huge. And then even more recently, and it's getting bigger and bigger all the time. And people who are doing restaurants now are going into fine dining cuisine, the latest type of thing. But people are still thinking that, oh, we've got a restaurant business. I don't want my son to do this. Yeah. I don't want my daughter to do this. Go and study and become a doctor. Go and become a lawyer. Go and do a white collar job. So people have done that to themselves. Our own community they have done that to themselves. It's not because the children didn't want to do it. It's because their parents and the older generation didn't want their children to do it because they felt that they struggled. They found it hard.
I can
every day dealing with customers and people coming in the restaurant and yes sir, no sir. I hear it every day. I hear it from I'm not doing that job anymore in the restaurant. I don't deal with the public anymore. My job dealing in food business is very different now. So when I hear stories, when my husband comes home, for example, it's like people have reached a level, especially the older generation, they are not prepared to say anymore, yes sir, no sir. They've done their time of sucking up to people. If there are other people watching this group, don't want to offend anyone, but it's been, especially in this country where you've got you've got your English customers who come in and they used to throw food around, and who's going to tolerate that? Nobody tolerates that kind of nonsense anymore. So I think people have stopped their children from coming in the industry.
Like I said, I was going to say, I do concur with what you're saying. Unfortunately, this has been the stigma in our community in the past, where nowadays they don't want to know about restaurant work. Oh, restaurant work, no way. I don't want my son to work in restaurants and all that. But I think slowly this is changing now, and people like yourselves and other things, we're like coming from a different angle, where we're making it a bit more attractive and doing other things. Sorry, did you want to say something?
No, carry on, please.
Yeah, so you're right, and people like yourself, whatever you're doing, changing the actual outlook people have of the restaurant trade. And there has been negativity, and some of it is valid, I would say, because I've worked in restaurants myself. There are many reasons why there was so much negativity for the restaurant trade in the past. I mean, I can't go into too much detail on it, but now it's changing, and you're right. But if somebody wants to do something else rather than restaurant, well, that's fine as well. But if they do want to do restaurant work, they shouldn't be actually put off.
They should encourage, actually. I think if people wanted, like the other question from the gentleman who asked the question, I think if people, we can make a difference to the future. So we are a product of what the generation before have made for us. So we are the product of that. So they didn't want their children to do this, or they didn't want their children to do that. And then now we're going on to, you know, like, if we want other people to do it, we need to be bringing our children in. So for example, if I want my son to be working in the restaurant, I will tell my husband when my son's a little bit older that take my son to the restaurant, and, you know, take our boy and let him go and work in the restaurant. There's nothing wrong with it. No. Because I would rather, and I think that our society would be a lot better if, because when you're running your own business, you're already ahead of the game. Yeah. Whether it's a restaurant business or anything, if you're running your own business, you're already ahead. And rather than working in a firm with other people, where you know what I mean, it's you're working to other people's timetable. One.
I mean, we know that our generation, a lot of my friends and relatives, we all started off working in restaurants, and actually, it makes you a better person once you start working somewhere, dealing with people, talking to people. You learn life skills, I think. And this is very, very important nowadays when our kids, they get less of a chance to do these things. So, yeah, you're spot on with that. Should we read some more comments, or should we go on to the next question?
I'm just looking at if there's any more questions. I'm just going to read out one comment.
Habib Bey.
Yeah, a bloke, Habib Bey. He basically says that second generation are more accustomed to the British culture and don't take any disrespect. In one sense, I agree, and in one sense, I don't, because coming from a customer service point of view, the customer, I'd say 97% of the time, is always right, because at the end of the day, if you're providing a service, you know, you need to suck it up to a certain level. Yeah, however, if it becomes abusive, then you need to, you know, like sort of try and intervene.
People will have their own views on different
things. You know, what was the name of the person, sorry, who gave that question?
Habib Bey.
Habib Bey. So this answer is, you know, for Habib Bey. The thing is with the generation and how we deal with those things is that whole setup and mentality of people saying the customer is always right was set up by a bunch of English people. This was a system that they set up. Our people don't really work like that. We don't tolerate that much nonsense in the restaurant business. I think years ago they did, and now they've become very, 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 like, we're not having any nonsense. Even younger people who are I have been designed by my dad to not to tolerate nonsense from anybody, not from staff who you work with, and not from customers. We unfortunately, I think you'll know what I'm saying is true. When this is for anybody who's got a restaurant, they'll know this is true, because, you know, when you get your own people, a few years ago, we had any Bangladeshi people or Indian people come in the restaurant, you know that they're going to come in and say, look, we'll have 1 vegetable curry and 20 chapatis, right, for 10 people.
Yeah.
Right. So there was a time when people needed the money, they would do it. And then along came a time when somebody said, hold on a minute, this is not making me money, it's hard work. Right, and the people are difficult, and then they want a discount, right? So people became like ruthless. Like, I'm not dealing with this. My dad he taught me to do this, and I have seen in time that actually so does everybody else who's working in the restaurant. If somebody comes in, as soon as you see somebody Indian, we're like, no, sorry, we're closed. We don't want it. We don't want the hassle. So you become more like what's the word, where you kind of like, you build a barrier up, you're not prepared to take nonsense from anybody anymore.
No.
So I think the customer always right is gone out the window now. I don't think that
No,
is
it's true, and I agree with that. The customer is not always right. Before you're right. In the past, we always say the customer is always right. I'm going to go to the next question I have. A lot of our food is oil-based, oily food, fatty, cholesterol, and all that.
Yeah, it's delicious. Ours is the best food in the world.
You know what?
It is. But my question,
testament.
yeah. But a lot of people say it's not healthy food. The question I'm trying to get at is, what are you going to do to make it more healthy? Are you going to? Wow.
Our food is healthy. Our food is the healthiest food that is available. If you're talking about eating in the restaurants, the menu that was provided for the Western palate has been designed, and it's cooked in a, you know, to accommodate our menus that we have. There are so many flaws in the way the restaurant has done. I'm not insulting anybody who's got a restaurant, but in the time when restaurants were set up, how much has really changed. They had a huge menu, you know, pages. When you go into an Indian restaurant, there's pages, there's all these dishes, and you go in the kitchen and there's one or two people running around like a headless chicken trying to cook 100 different dishes. And you know, this is the problem. And so for them to actually make it manageable and to be able to achieve everything they want, they have to cook some things a little bit in advance. And for them to keep that thing so that the flavor is good, they do need more oil. It does need more preservative in it. It does need extra. And for them to make this food tasty, we do add oil to it. I don't think that's unhealthy. I'm not the healthiest person. My husband's looking at me, so I can't even blag it. If he wasn't in the room, I could pretend. But he knows that it's true, that I like my unhealthy food, and unhealthy food is crisps, Coke, chocolates, those kind of things. These are unhealthy.
You're my best friend.
This is why you called me in the group. No, so these things are unhealthy. If you're eating junk food, and I know it, but I still do it because it's inbuilt habit. We have these bad habits that we have. Doing that is bad. If you're eating rice and curry, like home cooked, what we eat at home, there's nothing bad in that. You know, if you're having fried fish, well, even if it's fried in a lot of oil.
Sarah, that was my point. If you do home cooked food, if you compare it to restaurants and takeaways, there's a bit different.
It's very different. It's very different in that sense. So what we eat at home, what you eat at home, when you go to your mum's house, for example, your mum cooks something for you, right? We always kind of think that they put a lot more oil, but not as much as in the restaurant. You won't ever find that at home. And it's also that food is full of flavor. It's really, really tasty. And I don't find that there's any, I think the worst time, the most unhealthiest time that all of us eat as Asian people, Bangladeshi people, is during Rosa time, when nobody's eaten all day, and then you just stuff it with as much oily stuff as you can eat. And I don't know how that unbalances everything, because people go like, you know, I lost loads of weight during Ramadan, but it's like you didn't lose weight. You ate all bad food all the way through, you know. But I think that's the only time when people just let go, because they're so hungry, they just want to eat, you know, whatever they can. So I think that's the only time when I would say it's a little bit unhealthy during that time. And I don't know if it's fasting for 19. I know this is we have to do it, but I don't know how good that is in the extreme heat conditions and how people tolerate it, but everybody does do it. So well done to them.
You made me feel a lot better, because curry, the Indian food, is my favorite. I can't do without it. So from what you said just now, you're making me feel a lot better, and I can carry on enjoying my curries, no problem at all.
Yeah, just stay away from the Coke and the chocolates.
Just a quick comment.
But if you go to a shop, if you go to a supermarket, because when I try to get all of those bad things out of my house, and I think I'm not going to have any chocolate and I'm going to be really good and stop all these things, you then suddenly realize that the actual shopping supermarket there's only 3 or 4 aisles that you need. You know, the whole shop is full of crap, right? They've got, the only things that you really need is bread, milk, some fruit, and some vegetables. The rest of the shop, I don't know what it is. It's full of junk.
Right. I'm going to go to, we've got a lot of questions to go through.
You know what? I need to put one in here.
Go on.
Talking about healthy food, to be honest with you, our food, you know, the Indian food, you know, the parathas,
My favorite.
halims, you know, they're actually perfect for the warmer climate.
Yeah.
You know, India in general,
Hmm.
or you know, like Southeast Asia area. But because
Yeah, but but then not forgetting that our, you know, generation before us came from those places, and they have kept what they love. They have continued to eat it. They have managed to find it here. They've People who loved it so much managed to bring every single possible vegetable that you can find in Bangladesh is obtainable here. You
yeah,
can go around the corner, can't you? You can go in. You're in Oldham right now, aren't you?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're in Oldham, so you can go. I've seen the shops there.
Mm.
You can go in Oldham. You can go in Manchester. I'm in London at the moment, so you can go to Brick Lane. Every single vegetable that you can get in Bangladesh, you can get it in the shop.
Yeah.
That's how much they loved it, that they made it possible that I'm not going to give this vegetable up. I'm going to bring this here so I can eat it. So they haven't let it go, and because they haven't let it go, they've continued to cook it, and they've bought their children have become hooked on it. My husband loved his hutki shira. You know, he's.
I'm going to come into
Yeah,
that. I'm
yeah.
going to come into that in a bit.
Stay there, stay there. Don't move.
Don't move, because
We've got a whole item on this one.
we've only
That
got
whole item on that, I knew there would be.
My next question was, this is a question I feel really strongly about, and this is my own personal question, because at lunchtimes I always go to the supermarket looking for food and all that, and one of the things I find is there's a lot of Indian curries there, chicken tikka masala, korma, all those sort of things, but they're not halal. When is it someone's going to take the initiative and start having these halal, the pre-packed food in the supermarkets? When are we going to have that? Because there's a market out there. There's a lot of Muslims out there who'd love those pre-packed food, halal food, but there's not many that we can get halal.
Okay, so if you find me the right investor, I'll start it up.
Right. Okay. So that's it.
Anybody who's out there who wants to start it up, there you go. We've got a brilliant business opportunity there.
Brilliant.
I think there are people who are trying to bring, I think there are a few that are there. I'm not sure if they are marketed correctly. But, that's a lot of the chicken that you use.
I don't understand, because there's market is out there. There's a lot of Muslims out there, but when you go to the supermarkets, all you see, there's a lot of Indian food you see nowadays, but there's not hardly any that halal. And this is why I'm thinking, like, people like yourself, other people, why do they not take that initiative?
There is a huge demand. Most of the people, when we say most of the people who eat those kind of foods, they're so used to cooking it themselves. They're not going to go out and buy frozen food. There has to be a huge demand for it before people start doing it. People who are like, if you're thinking, I think there are some dishes that we have cooked at home that would be quite nice for people like students, for example, who leave home and they're going away to study. But then when you kind of really think about it, it's like they don't do that. Their mum will cook it in batches for them. Yeah. And they put it in containers, and they go back to because I've had conversations about this with loads of people from who have mums who do that for them. Their mum will literally buy them a rice cooker before they go away to uni, and they give them a whole batch of food to put in the freezer, and when you come back from, take it out in the morning, put it in the fridge. Yeah. When you come back, warm it up, so that they know that their son has eaten properly. Yeah. Or their daughter has eaten properly. Absolutely. So yeah,
I'm gonna read off some comments. Rosie Choudhury, she's been eagerly looking forward to this interview, and she's got a question for Sarah. Women are not encouraged in this industry. How can they support themselves if they want to pursue their business? I think you've covered a little bit earlier on. Well, Rosie
in which industry? In the food industry? Or?
Yeah, in the food industry, Indian food industry.
Women are not. Bangladeshi women are not really encouraged in any industry.
No, slowly it's changing. I wouldn't say that. I mean, there are other industries, they are changing. People are encouraged, but with regards to Indian food industry, I don't think, like I said earlier, I don't think they are encouraged. That's what I would say. And I think
They are not really encouraged, but I think, like I said, it was a bit taboo in, years ago. More and more women are working now anyway. I did meet sister, Rosie, the other day in Oldhams. I know who it is, so hi,
oh right,
Rosie.
okay, brilliant.
So I did meet her the other day, but she's a businesswoman herself in what she's doing. Nobody can stop you from doing any business or anything. So she's already quite a successful businesswoman. I've seen the things that she's doing, and she's doing some things that she can work around her own timetable, and she's got a family as well. So she's maintaining all of that. If you can do that, there's nobody can actually stop you from going into any industry. If you have a plan or an idea, nobody's going to say, look, you can't do this, you're not allowed to do this, because there isn't anything wrong with it. There are loads of young Asian women who are going into setting up their own restaurants as well. I know a few who are setting up really, really, really great business models, which are, businesses, franchises and stuff, and they're getting help or support from their husband, or they're doing it themselves, and they found a leeway and they get funding, and they're all, it's even though we think that you're being held back in other ways, sometimes if you think that you're being held back, you're actually being given a better opportunity to go further. Because if you go to somebody and say, look, this is lacking, we are lacking here, then you find that other platforms actually help you so that it isn't lacking.
And again, I think slowly all these are changing. And you yourself said it, there's a lot more women going to the industry. Slowly these are changing. And hopefully, Rosie, that has answered your question. And you need to follow Sarah Ali, people like Sarah Ali as a role model. So hopefully, you can learn.
Just to add on that, for Rosie Choudhury's benefit of mind or peace of mind, there is one particular takeaway in Rochdale, which is run entirely by women.
Oh right, Rochdale. That's
in
just
Rochdale, and literally not too far away from my house.
Right.
So
there you go. So
inbox me and I'll give you the details.
There you go, Rosie. There's a restaurant in Rochdale. Takeaway in Rochdale is being grown entirely by women.
Absolutely.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah,
brilliant.
And like you said, I had some dealing with them when I used to work in the council, and yes, they did get some help setting up, which was fantastic. There are so many facilities out there. It's just a question of reaching out and trying to find out.
Absolutely.
Most of the information is available online. And some are available at your local council. So, ladies, and I'm talking about all you ladies out there, all the ladies in the house, yes, you guys, and basically, if you want any information, inbox me, or just go and speak to your local council information desk, and they'll direct you to the right person.
There is a lot of help and support out there. So just to let you know, I've got one more question
before we go on to that one. I just want to shout out to my chach, Jahid Mia, and his comment. I'm not being doing any favoritism to him, but I know Jahid, and he's really keen. He's saying, "Salam guys, good to see my favorite woman, Sarah Ali Choudhury." Go on.
Your favorite woman? Oh,
yeah.
Go on.
There you go. You've got a fan.
Jahid Mia, Jahid Bhai, and his dad, they invited me to the Oldham Eid Festival.
Right.
So, and they're also working very closely, PBTV, working very closely with some other projects that we're doing in Bournemouth, where a lead juror for an award award ceremony that's happening in Bournemouth, called the Dorset Ethnic Minority Awards, and he's working very closely with us, and he's absolutely, like, the work that he puts in, he's phenomenal. But I know that you know him personally as well, and I think we all know you're doing brilliantly.
The amount of work he puts in, especially for PVTV, is absolutely amazing. He puts a lot of work into it, So I wish him good luck, whatever his aspirations are. And
Brilliant support for all the women. And you know, it was nice to meet him and to meet, you know, Sasa, to meet his dad, and also met his wife and his, you know, his children in Oldham. And it was because of me coming to Oldham that I got to meet you guys, and now we're doing this show. So all of these things lead from one thing leads to another.
Yeah, fantastic. There you go, Jahad, your favorite woman has complimented you.
Spoken. She has spoken. I'm very highly of you, Church.
We're just going to read some more comments before
leading back to Idris Bai's previous comment about halal food on the supermarket. As most viewers already know, you know, like there are certain aisles in certain supermarkets, not mentioning any names. There are halal aisles, and one of our friends, mutual friend, shall I say, Paul Motley. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
He's mentioned that most of the meat is halal, approximately 95%, but not certified in markets, simply because there would be the usual whinging. Possibly. Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier. Yeah. I think most of them are halal, but it doesn't have the stamp on it, and people can't be bothered to go through the hassle of getting the stamp. So they just leave it.
Good point, Paul.
But,
and he also added a message to Rosie saying that encourage yourself and other ladies. This will help overcome the chef crisis in regards to the Asian restaurant business, catering business.
Just quickly going to the question, because I've got a few lots to get through. But there's one by has asked a question. Just one more. Does the curry taste better if it's cooked by a male chef or a female chef? What kind of question is that? How we don't know whether it's a male or a female cooks it, do we?
Okay.
There is never a better man or woman chef. There is. Do you know what? Anybody who cooks, and if they want to cook, is everybody's feeling at that time of cooking will depend on the food. If it's a woman cooking and if she's in a bad mood, that food is not going to taste good, right? And if there's a man who's cooking and he's in a good mood and he wants to cook something, it's going to taste delicious, because it's nothing to do with men and women. It's just to do with how much time they're putting in.
Right, Sarah Ali, I've got to put a word in here. Are you thinking of becoming a politician? Because you're very diplomatic.
He sounds like one. Very
yes, I am.
You know what? You do a better job than our current PM.
Let's not go into politics.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
That's what my husband tells me every day.
And I'm sure you've seen the viral video of our PM. You know, like doing a few dance moves. I mean, even Mr. Bean is far more better.
I've not actually seen them.
I know that I can beat her on the dance moves.
Oh, there
I'm one step ahead on the dance moves.
Happy days. You know, you won halfway. It's the other half that you need to, you know, work on.
I don't know if politics is a thing for me, but you know, definitely something to think about.
Yeah. You're halfway there already, like you said, through your diplomatic comments that you made.
Oh yeah, and the dance move.
Yeah, and the dance move. Okay, we're going to read the comments later on once I finish all this. There's a lot of comments coming through, but because it's taken up, I'm just going to ask you a few more questions. This is another question for myself. Is hudki shira, how healthy is hudki shira? Tell me about hudki shira.
Okay, I'm not a fan of hudki shira, but I know that it is extremely healthy because it's just watery. It's just watery, isn't it? It's just like soup. It's like thin soup. But I think I think it's healthy.
There you go, folks. Hudki shira is healthy. That's it. We're gonna have to have more hudki shira now for a healthy diet instead of.
I am being a bit of a politician. I know that I'm on a Bangladeshi channel, and I know that 95% of the people on here, I'm not gonna diss their favorite food.
You cannot diss hudki shira.
You know what? I'm gonna actually write a song about hudki shira.
Oh yeah. We heard your song last night about.
Yeah. We're buying that song.
Yeah.
And actually, do you know what? if I can get it done within the next few weeks, you never know. I might actually perform down your end when we come down.
Yeah, but come and perform it. We'll all get it, and we'll all put it in all the Indian restaurants.
Happy
Oh,
days.
brilliant.
Maybe it could be like a
Go for
national
it.
anthem for restaurants.
National anthem for restaurant. That's a good one. Right, just tell me about this ARON Ambassador a little bit. What's this ambassador that you?
Okay, so ARON
Or ARON.
Ambassador is the Asian Restaurant Owners Network, and I'm the brand ambassador for them. They are taking Indian restaurants to the next level, in the sense that they are doing an award ceremony where nobody pays. So as we all know, there's a lot of Indian restaurant awards where there's a lot of backhanding stuff that goes on, and you know, and it's become so much recently that people have it's almost like, do you even want an award from them anymore, you know, from different backgrounds.
And it's about time somebody did something about that. There's too many times people pay their way through to get an award.
See, the thing is, you know, like sometimes awards like that, you know, actually sort of gets people noticed. Now, I do appreciate the fact that, like you mentioned, some of these awards are, guys, forgive me for saying this, but literally bought.
Yeah,
ARON.
yeah, it's how many seats you buy at the award ceremony.
Yeah.
So there's no genuine merit. And the thing with the ARON Awards is the hashtag that we're using for that is genuine merit. That is what we're using for our awards, is hashtag genuine merit. People who are making a difference and trying to change the industry so that it's not about, you know, if you buy 20 tables, you're going to win the biggest award. It's not about that. Nobody's exchanging any money for this. So it's going to be quite exciting to see the outcome of how this will turn things around in the catering industry. So I'm really proud to be brand ambassador for them. They're also doing a lot for women. So people who are talking about women in the industry, you'll see on the ARON page, there's a video. It's done with me and with Steph Wyatt. Steph Wyatt is the Miss Dorset. She's going through for the Miss England finalist, who's a friend of mine. And we did the video in my dad's restaurant in Bridport with Rehan, who is the CEO and founder of the Asian Restaurant Owners Network. So what we've done is a video. What was that?
I felt sorry for him. He got pushed around in the video.
Yeah, he got completely pushed around because it was about how women are going to be. That is what we were doing. So what Rosie was saying earlier about can women get in the industry, that is what we're doing. We're trying to change. We are changing the way that the Asian catering industry will be.
I'm so glad
working.
you're doing that, because every time these award ceremonies come up, Sarah, we always say, oh, we know who the paid.
Yeah, why bother going? We know that the usual winners, you know.
Yeah, no, it's about time you've done that. I hope you got plenty of time. This was supposed to be for an hour, but because we've been talking a lot and there's been a lot of comments, we're going to overrun, but I hope you're okay with time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sarah, yeah. My next question was, when are we going to see you on MasterChef or the Great British Bake Off? Are we going to see?
Okay, you're not going to see me in those programs because I don't like reality TV shows. So I don't put myself forward for anything that's reality TV, because I think there's a lot of. I have been on a TV show on Channel 4 before in the past on My Kitchen Rules, and when you work with the way that they work, it's not. The thing is with reality TV is if you're not thinking of doing it as if you're thinking of doing it for fun, then it's fine. If you're actually in the catering industry and you're trying to make changes and you're taking it very seriously, I work closely with MPs and with, you know, people to change the way the rules are. I mean, we're trying to change immigration laws and things like that. So if you go into a show like this, you see, for them, it's about getting the ratings up. So they do what they have to do to put the ratings up, and that is their business. So you knowingly, if you go into something like that, if you're very serious about what you're doing, don't put yourself in reality TV. Do it to get yourself seen once from the beginning, but then don't do it again, because reality TV will make you or it will break you, right? And it goes either way, and it just depends on that show, how it's being done at the time. So I would do stuff like like a documentary or something like that,
Yeah.
or a program, but reality TV, absolutely no chance, because there's so many times when I watch programs and I think like, well, that food looked much better. Or you see somebody's, you know, they did these bake off and they do these cakes, and I remember seeing something last year and I saw this cake and I thought, my God, everybody who saw that cake was like, wow, but he didn't get through, you know. And then somebody else won for another reason, and it's like, it's not fair, and it's not really right. So, but they have to do what they have to do because it's TV.
Mm.
All right. So essentially, what you're saying is that you're not going to do reality TV. That is such a shame, because I'm actually trying to mastermind a Bengali version of Boro Vaisabir Gor. Big
Well,
Brother's
that's
House.
something to do with cooking. That's
No, well, cooking could be one of the house challenges, you know.
Well, Sarah, you say that, but we all know Nadia Hussain. She was the winner of the British Bake Off, and look what it done to her career. So
Absolutely, that's why I say it can make you or break you.
yeah,
It can make you or break you. But she was very, with all due respect, she's a fantastic woman. I love what she's doing, I love what she's done, and I love how she's taken it to the next level. But in the time that she was chosen to win, it's all very political with TV. They need somebody who's wearing a hijab and who's doing these things to win, because otherwise, how does TV look?
Yeah, bias.
So a lot of things are done very politically, and you know, we are living in a time where things are done in a certain way to make sure that BBC are seen in a certain light. So when people get that, then they understand how these things work. That will happen once. That won't happen again. There won't be another, you know, sister with a hijab on winning next time. They have to do it once.
With these kind of, I always have an open mind. I think, oh, you never say never. You've just got to have an open mind and think, you know.
Well, I've got my fingers crossed.
There could be another one. You never know. But no, you've said.
Okay, well, look, I tell you what. If you do your reality TV one, you know, then I'll get involved. But I'm not going up for the BBC one.
That's good, great, brilliant.
Superstar.
I have a question for myself. You said you're a public speaker. You know, the way you're speaking, quite eloquent, diplomatic. I've always wanted to do that. I know it's a bit late stage in my career. I've always wanted to do that. What advice would you give me if I wanted to be a public speaker? You know, what advice?
Well, public speaking is all to do with like having guts. That's all it is. It's just having guts, because you're speaking to people every day. You're speaking to me now in front of loads of people. So I think if you want to speak live in front of someone, there are some things that I've been, you know, I do my research on it and I try and get information from people. But the best person to teach you is yourself. So when you go to speak publicly and you're on a stage and there's like 1,000 people in front of you, or 100 people or 10 people, sometimes the smaller crowds are more frightening than the really big crowds. When it's really big, you can't look at anybody. True. You know, and it's just like over your head, so you just go for the kill. But what I found is when you are speaking live and you have a microphone in your hand, there are two things that I try to remember. One of them is just lower your tone. Don't be so high pitched, just come down one level in your tone, so it's a little bit deeper, and go really slow. Just go really slow, because once you sometimes we get nervous and we just want to say what we want to say as quick as we can, and it comes out and people don't know what you're saying, and you're talking high pitch and then people are like, what are they on about? So you just come down one level and you speak in a lower tone and very slowly. But if you can make people laugh in the first 20 seconds, or you know, in the first minute, for example, if you can find something to make people laugh, you break the ice, and then the minute everybody's laughing, they relax. People relax as well as you.
All the time. He does it all the way through. He makes people laugh all the way through. This guy, as soon as they see him, they start laughing at him. That's the way it is. Right.
Yeah.
So just whiz through the questions, then we're going to go on to the comments. I've got a couple more questions. What gives you satisfaction? About, you know, throughout your career, what gives you the most satisfaction?
Apart from marathons, as in, you know, like what's it called now, Snickers.
crackers.
Apart from chocolates.
Oh, sorry, sorry about that. My dad tried to call me in the middle of that. He
Right.
doesn't know that I'm doing this video. Sorry. So I think what gives me satisfaction most would be,
And please don't.
I mean, I did quite a few things. I think at the moment, the thing that I find most is like if I set myself out to go and do something in my mind and I think I want or I will achieve this by that time and I do it, I think there is a feeling that you get from that, knowing that I said I was going to do that and I've done it and I've achieved it. That for me, I find that really like a really great feeling.
Yeah, euphoria.
Brilliant. Euphoria. Fantastic. On to the next question. Can you speak Bangla?
Can I speak Bangla?
Yeah.
I'll ask my husband. Can I speak Bangla? Like he thinks I
No,
can.
don't tell him to help you. I need you to speak. See if you can speak.
Gio আমি বাংলা মাতাম পারি।
Oh, fantastic. Okay, আপনার দেশের বাড়ি কোন জায়গা? দেশের বাড়ি কেন?
আমার আব্বা Karim is from Karimganj. Oh God, I said that half English, didn't I?
Okay. আর আপনার নিজের see, I struggled. You know, last time what happened?
You're struggling. You're struggling.
No. So, where are you from in Bangladesh?
In Bangla, please.
In Bangla.
Okay. আমার আব্বা আমার আব্বার বাড়ি Karimganj in India.
Okay.
Not Bangladesh.
India Karimganj.
Yeah.
Okay.
But your husband.
আমার জামাইর বাড়ি.
Yes, that's it.
It's Balagunj. You don't have to tell me. I know where you're from.
Balagunj. Hey, Balagunj. That's our previous. Is it Balagunj? You say?
Balagunj.
It's not Usmani Nagar, is it? Balagunj. Yeah, it used to be Balagunj.
No,
Yeah.
it's Fazilpur.
Yeah, Usmani Nagar.
Usmani Nagar.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's where I'm from, by the way.
Does that make us all family now?
Yes, we're family now. Next time.
And my hori, Amar hori, Molevi Bazar.
All right.
Oh, my next door neighbour.
So Moli Bazar, Usmani Nagar, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
The reason we asked that because a lot of our members are from Bangladesh. They always are interested to know where you are from. They will always ask that question, where you're from. So there you go, members. She's
Now you
half
know.
Moli Bazari, Usmani Nagar, which is where I'm from,
And India Karimganj.
and India as well. 3 in 1. Okay. আচ্ছা বাংলাদেশ ওর কোন জিনিসটা ভালো লাগে আপনার? In English, what is it?
No, it's not. It's Naikol.
Naikol. Coconut.
Cool.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah, has
Brilliant.
to be.
Yes, that's brilliant.
Has to
Brilliant.
be.
Good question. Okay.
What about khatol? I don't like khatol.
and Naikol.
I'm actually going to do I'm going to ask you 10 questions right at the end of it. It's called Khati Bangali, non-stop questions. So
It's quick
Do I
fire.
have to speak in Bangla all the way?
No. See, you'll be about that. You're not going to have to speak in Bangla. My next question is going to be in English. I'm going to ask you the next question because this is mainly for ILB and I love Bangladesh. We all have a lot of love for Bangladesh. How much love do you have for the country of Bangladesh and what connection do you have so far? You can be honest answer. Have you been Bangladesh?
Yeah, I've been to Bangladesh, and I really enjoyed it in Bangladesh. I love Bangladesh and where my dad's from, Karimganj, and those. But it's all the same, you know. To be honest, it's all the same.
Yeah.
It was all one anyway before, wasn't it? So, but I find this is the honest truth is that the people is what makes the place. So the place is beautiful anyway, because I'm one of the people who love all the lush greenery and I love water.
That's me.
So if there's these two things, I'm happy. And everybody in Bangladesh has their, you know, their pond, their fukri. So I love that. I love to see that. I love sitting there and looking at it. but the people make up the place. And I haven't been anywhere in Bangladesh where the people have not treated me like a queen. Everywhere I went in Bangladesh, they've treated me so nicely, and it's appreciated. You don't get that everywhere, so I love it in Bangladesh. I you know, I think we don't go enough. I think we need to go again, to be honest.
You know
but,
what? It's a nice thing to say, because a lot of the time you see for yourself there's a lot of negativity about Bangladesh, and I personally, I'm on a mission to actually look at the positives of Bangladesh, and what you say is so nice to hear, that, you know, instead of looking at all the negatives, you've got so much positive things to say. And that's, you know, what I always aspire to do, because we can easy to focus on the negatives, but there is a lot of positives about Bangladesh, and that's great.
I didn't really find any anything negative in Bangladesh. I didn't find anything that I didn't like. There wasn't anything that I didn't like. Everything was, you know, was really nice. Everybody was, you know, making the food, and they go out of their way. And there's, you know, we've got my family in Bangladesh. They were trying to make me comfortable. They're waking up earlier than they need to, making sure our clothes is washed. I mean, like, whoa, that's my own laundry service, you know. And when you've got children who are quite young, you worry about them getting sick, what they're eating. But I've got the family kind of connection that we have. Everybody was making sure that everybody's okay. You feel quite relaxed. It was very, very relaxed, and I really enjoyed it.
That's really nice to hear. I think I've finished my questions. We're going to go through the comments on the actual feed.
Okay.
And if AJ Samba's got anything else to say, then I'm going to go to the final bit where I ask you 10 quick-fire questions to see if you're really a Hati Bengali or not. There's 3 people have done this.
Oh, no.
Imran Hussain by the boxer, Nurun Ahmed has done it, and Alaa Rahman by. They're all good celebrities. They've been on the spot as well. So I'll leave that till the end. We're going to read the comments, and we're going to go on to AJ Sambai. So comment kita hola isiwa.
Dekho.
Acha, Jackson Mia, one question. Those who've done a restaurant business, they all have tables number from 1 to 20, etc. But why doesn't anyone have table number 13 and jump from 12 to table 14? Have you come across that? They don't have number 13, superstitious.
No, I think we have, you know, in my husband's restaurant, we have 13, we have 13A, we have 13B. I don't know, maybe some people think it's unlucky. I don't find that number unlucky. That's a lucky number for me. My son was born on that day. And I think, you know, maybe they've been people who you've seen that with, they may have been brought up in this country, and maybe they think there's a superstition thing linked with 13, but we don't believe in that nonsense.
No, I agree. I think these are all like people that are superstitious a lot. Islamuddin Bhai is saying hello, that he met you in Oldham, so he's saying hello to you. I don't know if you remember Islamuddin Bhai. A lot of people met you in Oldham.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum to everybody who I met in Oldham. They're really, really nice bunch who made me really welcome.
Brilliant. Any more shout outs? You've got any more questions for our Sarah Ali Choudhury for you?
Well, I'm just going to put a sly one in. There was a bit of a challenge. Do you remember that that act that came on, Reds and Ash Boy with Chunduri Furi? Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that brought a smile to your face.
Yeah.
One of the lads,
It was good.
We were just having a laugh, you know, and Reds and Ash Boy, you know, they were releasing lyric versions of their video, and their video has actually reached over 900,000 views.
Last time I checked, it was 946,000.
Yeah, 946. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, just a touch away from hitting 1 million. And one of our regular viewers, he's actually put a challenge to me saying, Ijay, what happened to the Shunduri Furi challenge? Right, the answer to that, to Jackson Mia, I'm actually filming this in my front room. And
you're filming it?
Well, filming this. We're doing the show.
Oh, right, yeah.
In my front room. And the next room, you know, my mother-in-law's there. My brother is there. My brother's wife is there. My sister-in-law is there. Literally, you know, like half the tribe is in the other room. And if I start singing, I'm going to clear the house out. So I'm going to leave that for another day.
Right.
Thank God for that.
I'm not that bad, you know.
He's not that bad. You should listen to his. What was the song?
Moina.
You should listen to it. It's on YouTube. It's really good.
I will check it out.
Yeah. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, okay, do that.
Yeah.
We had loads and loads of questions before. We don't have that many. But before I go on to the last segment, I would like you to have, a final message, Sarah. Hope you've enjoyed this interview. Like I said to you, it's very different to your normal, sofa, very rigid interview. We like to be a bit more different, and
Yeah, no, it's nice.
Yeah,
Fun and games.
Fun and games. We do that. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you've got any final messages before we go to the last one, do you have anything else to say? We've got lots of members that have watched this today.
Yeah, a few latecomers as well, but guys, everyone that's joined us later on in the video will be up there, so you can watch it from the beginning once we're finished. So
I think one thing that I'd want to say, just to say that my PR company will tell me off because they're going to see this video later and say, why didn't you mention this? We are starting an award course for, in the past 15 months, I won more than 9 awards and I think 14 or 15 accolades. And so we're starting a course on the 18th of October in Christchurch for people who want to learn more about getting an award for their business, what it does for them, a genuine award, for their business, and what it does for them and how it can push their business further. And the whole processes of filling in the forms and things like that will all be covered through the course. So that is starting on the 18th of October in Bournemouth. And then we're later on hoping to take it more regional and then national. So that's just one thing that I probably need to say. So everybody's heard that now. So if they want to book on, let me know.
Brilliant. By the way,
don't forget to put a link on your page, and we'll share it. So if our viewers would like to get more information about it, how to go about joining these events, that would be great.
Yeah, thank you, Baya. I will. We're just in the process of setting up the Eventbrite page. So once all of that is done, I'll send you the link if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
By the way, I've added you to the ILB page. I would like you to stay on there, participate.
As and when you can.
As and when you can, like your page.
Of course, absolutely.
Because as I said earlier, the page is to promote the positive things Bangladesh has to offer, and you yourself said you've liked so much about it. So hopefully, if you can carry on participating as and when, and post things when you can. Yeah. Sorry, you want anything else?
No, is that on your T-shirt? What does that say? Is it I love Bangladesh?
Yeah.
Because I think I'm entitled to one of these T-shirts.
You know what? Actually. Coming up,
I think all the speakers should get one of these T-shirts to promote it.
We've got a 10th anniversary event coming up next year, so we are going to invite you there. Hopefully, we'll be able to attend. So, is that what you want to say?
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna get an unused, unworn, fresh out of the packet.
These T-shirts are so precious. Everyone that sees them, they said they want one of them. So yeah,
they want one. Okay. Thanks for giving me one that's unused, bro. Appreciate that.
No worries.
Unused one. Yeah. All right. Are you ready for this quiz that I'm going to do? Not quiz. It's 10 quick-fire questions.
Yeah, it's a happy Bengali.
Okay.
You can't stutter. You've got to give me straight answers straight away. By the way, there's 3 people have already done this quiz to. Guess who's leading? Emran Hussain, by the boxer, he was born and bred in this country. He's actually leading. He only got 1 question wrong. So he's got 9.
Oh, God. Look, I'm not really, I already know I'm not going to be great at this. I'm not great at these. I get nervous.
No, it's for a laugh.
Okay.
First question to you is, when was the last time you wore a maxi, Bangladesh?
This morning.
This morning? Whoa. Okay. Am or hatol? Which one? Quickly.
Sorry?
Mango or cattle?
Mango.
Okay. Village or town?
Village.
Have you ever had ilishmas? If so, when was the last time you've had ilishmas?
Last time I had ilishmas was in my mum's house about 4 months ago.
4 months? I can't give you that. It's too long ago.
No.
Sorry.
I mean,
No, sorry.
No, we can't give you that. Sorry. 4 months.
Well, my husband's allergic to ilishama, so we don't really eat it in the house.
Well, I'll give you half a point.
Maybe.
Half a point,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay, thank
Next
you.
question. When was the last time you wore a sari?
Sorry?
when was the last time you wore a sari? Sari?
This morning,
This morning, awesome. Oh, well done.
after I wore my Mexi.
Okay. Tea or coffee? Tea or coffee? Hello?
Oh, we may have actually lost her.
How do we... Oh, she's still there.
No, she's still there in the thingy thing. She's back, and I'm going to add her back on.
Oh, no, we were just...
No, that's fine. That's fine. So we were on the tar.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
Right, we're going to try again.
We seem to have lost her.
Right, adding.
I'm not sure what happened there. I did not do that on purpose. I don't know what happened there.
Declined. You declined.
No, it must have been the tea.
So, can you repeat the question again?
Right. And the next question is tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Ooh. Where is it?
Oh, you're saying like what I'm supposed to like. I'm supposed to like tea, but I like coffee.
No. This is what about you. It's not what you're supposed to like. It's about what you
Okay.
like. Yeah?
I like coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Green or blue?
Green.
Rice or roti?
Rice.
Have you ever used a fata to, like them chilies and all that? Have you ever used one of them?
Yes.
Wow, that's a good one. Final question. Tiger or lion?
Tiger.
Yep. Right, let's count your score. 1, 2, 3,
I'm half a mark out for
5,
sure.
6, 7, 7.5.
7.5. That's pretty good.
That puts you in joint third. Sorry,
Not bad.
Not bad.
You have to remember, I'm not even from Bangladesh. You got to remember that.
You've done really
I think
well.
that should put me in first place, to be honest.
You've done really well. Some of these answers, even I would have failed to be. I'm not good at these myself. It's just a fun thing to see how Hati Bengali. You can pass it as a Hati Bengali, definitely.
Right. Okay. I'll tell you what.
Well done.
Just to prove,
Is that good?
yeah.
Isn't that good?
Just to prove that you done better. Like ask me these same questions.
Okay, just to prove that, even I'm just asking you just the same question.
Go on.
Last time you were a Mexi, you're not.
Hey, you don't know my lifestyle. I do like prosperous.
Yeah, he's got one on now. That's why he's not coming on the video.
That's a cross. Was it Am or Hattel? Cross. Village or town?
Village, bro.
Oh, that's where I went wrong.
Oh, right, yeah. No, you said village.
No, I mean on the. I know now. If I had seen this before, I would have got 100%.
No, but you will have to give the honest answer that you don't like having.
The honest answer, the reality is, I don't like tea. That's the reality. The reality is, I like my
Either.
But the thing is, Bangladesh is a tea country, and we sort of tend to have more tea. That's my.
Of course.
So all these questions, you've got an idea. Ilish mas is also national fish of Bangladesh, so a lot of people like it.
I should have said I had it for lunch, shouldn't I? But that would have been a lie.
The thing I liked is Mexi. You wore it this morning. That's a very good answer. And you wore a sari this morning. That was excellent.
Well, I failed on both counts.
And the fata, isn't it? Bangladeshi fata. You said.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
We use the stone. Yeah, we use the stone. We've actually got one in the house. That's the best garlic and ginger.
Right. So that is
thingy.
a really good answer. For me, you have passed with flying colours the Hati Bangladeshi, because that would have been absolutely fantastic. I enjoyed doing this to you, actually.
My husband looks really happy about that.
Excellent. Okay, I mean, we've come towards the end of the show. I mean, I would like to say a massive thank you to you. I really enjoyed this interview. It's been really intriguing, and I've learned a lot as well, and it's been really good, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. This interview is going to go out to a lot of people. It's going to be recorded. It's going to go on YouTube, and they're going to see you as well. So I hope you've enjoyed it too.
I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for asking me to come on this. I'm not just saying it. It was really nice because, you met me over there in Oldham, and then you said, look, I'm going to contact you and ask you to come on this. And you did. You said everything that you said you were going to do, you've done it. And when you guys are free and you're on holiday, if you come into Bournemouth, let me know, and, come and see us. And come and eat. I'll cook. We'll make some ilisha in my house and some hutki, and and we'll all have a lovely time.
Don't forget, when you become a politician, remember us. Don't forget, when you become Prime Minister, you have to remember us. Don't forget.
Because we brought you halfway there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yes, I'm going to leave the final word to round it off. So.
Right, okay. No, you carry on. Bro.
Yeah,
You stay in frame. I'm happy hovering up just under it.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, on behalf of MBS, the MBS group, ILB, and our personal pages and all our viewers, a huge thank you for giving us your time.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, someone like yourself, you know, you're so busy. Plus, one vital question that we didn't ask was about your family life, and sometimes it can get uncomfortable. Sometimes, so we decided to leave that out intentionally. But at the same time,
But I brought my husband on.
yeah, he did. Yeah. But he didn't do the longy dance. That was disappointing.
He didn't do the monkey dance.
No, not the monkey dance.
The
Longy dance. Longy dance.
Longy dance.
Oh, longy dance.
No,
Oh no, he did do it. You just didn't see.
Oh, right. All right. We'll give him a point for that then. Happy days.
Yeah.
And you know, we just want to say, you know,
Thank you.
for all the lady viewers out there, I hope you got some inspiration from Sarah, and you know, like I say, you know, like it's from me personally, you know, I really enjoyed this, even though, you know, half of the time I was out of the frame, just having a giggle or, you know, pointing things out. That's me in general, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate it. And do you know what? You just dug yourself into it, because we might actually turn up at your door one day and just message you, say, "Hello, we're here."
You know what? Is no problem. More than welcome. You're more than welcome. But don't come all the way from Oldham and knock on my door. Make sure you let me know so that we are there.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We'll put a tent in our backpack. So if you're not
You
there,
carry on. That's fine. You can. I've got a big front lawn, so you're welcome. If we're not there, you're welcome to, you know, to crash there. But no, on a serious note, if you ever, you know, because Bournemouth's a beautiful place. We live in the south of the country, and it's absolutely stunning place where we live, and I love it here. So on a serious note, you know, you guys are welcome. You know, I'm inviting you to come.
Thank you.
You must come.
See you in Oldham again very soon, and our 10th anniversary event. You're going to have to come to that as well.
I will definitely come.
Bring your husband along, because we're going to definitely have a longer parade on that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do I have to take him with me everywhere?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, at least us guys can have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
You know, do a longy dance.
Yeah. I will. If I bring him, I have to bring my 4 children as well.
Absolutely.
But that's fine. The whole lot of us will come.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you so much once again, Sarah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Baya. Thank you, both of you.
Yeah.
And everybody else who's watching. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. Assalamu alaikum.
Bye. Right. So, viewers, you've just spoken to, or rather, heard Sarah Ali Choudhury, you know, speak to us. We had a bit of a banter, had a bit of a laugh.
I enjoyed that. That was a really good interview.
Some quite serious stuff as well.
Serious stuff.
Talking about business, the food industry in general, looking at the business trends, you know, like how things have changed.
You know, the part about the Indian food industry, that really was very interesting, and her views on it was really good. And this is something our Bangladeshi community are involved in a lot.
Absolutely.
So it's really interesting, yes.
With, you know, like with new legislations coming up in terms of, you know, workforce, things might actually turn out to be quite decent. So keep an eye out, you know, like very soon, you know, we might actually sit down with an immigration lawyer.
Immigration lawyer?
Yeah, immigration lawyer. My aims are essentially to sort of try and sort of give you some informative information, not just for the caterers, for other industries as well, where, you know, we need labour. And sometimes, you know, as we mentioned before, আমরা মার্কেটের মাঝে অনেক খাম আছে যেটা আমরা নতুন প্রজন্মের তারা করতে চায় না. You know, they're just simply saying, look, I don't want to do this. And, you know, সব সময় না মানে বালা অফিসের খামও পাওয়া যায় না, and sometimes you know you've got to do things, and ultimately, just to sort of avoid doing certain jobs, they'd rather go and work in warehouses, lower paid office jobs, etc., etc. But the good news is legislation is changing, and in a future episode, in a future program, we'll discuss. We'll discuss.
Can I just say one final word?
Of course you can. It's your show.
You can see on the front my face, but there's a lot of work Idris Samba has put behind with the lights, with setting up, with the cameras and everything. His house as well. So I'd like to thank Idris Samba for that. And actually, him doing the show with me has actually improved it a lot more. So thank you so much for Idris Samba. You know, we make a good duo, don't we?
I don't know why it's just like thanking. You know, we're all in this for information, or shall I say, infotainment. It's like you get information and you get entertainment. Infotainment. So everyone that knows me, you know that I'm up for a chuckle. Sometimes I can be a bit dumb, intellectually challenged, but at the same time we just have a laugh and try and simplify things and try and bring you some informative
The members are increasing now for some reason. It went down. Now because he started talking, he's increasing. It's time for me to go now.
Ah, right, yeah. Oh well, it's sod's law, isn't it? Because we're finishing the show, and that's why everyone's turning up. But don't worry, guys. Everyone that's joined in at the later stage, once we go off live, we end the video, you can watch it from the beginning. It's very informative and very inspirational, especially for the sisters out there.
Very inspirational.
Very inspirational. And in the future, like when I get some more information from Sarah, I'll post it, and like you'll get to see it, hopefully, fingers crossed. And with that, on that note,
we shall say.
I think we'll say good night to you.
Good night from me,
and it's good night from him.
No, good night from me.
No, it's good night from me, and it's good night from him.
Whatever.
Yeah. You know the drill.
You know the drill.